Hi, fifth graders. Good afternoon, and welcome to week 7, day 3. We're still working on our social studies instruction of the 13 colonies, and today we're going to talk about the economy in the New England colonies. And before we dig into what the economy was like in the New England colonies, I want to review with you guys what is an economy before we get started. So if you did junior achievement this year, you will have had a mini lesson on economy. And so maybe you can think back to those lessons with the guest teacher that came in and was teaching you about that. So take a look at my screen here. Economy, you might have some ideas that it's related to money and buying things, and you're right. There's some key words that go with economy. An economy is a complex thing with lots of moving parts. It's a system. When we talk about systems in science, parts forming a whole, an economy is a giant system with lots of inputs and outputs. But we're going to make it really simple today, and we're going to talk about an economy as having producers. Those are things that make goods or stuff that people can buy. So, for example, there's producers, there's factories that produce phones and computers. Okay, and then those things go to sell, and consumers, those are the people who buy those goods, those products, the stuff that the producer makes. And they buy those with money, and the money goes back to the producer, and then they can buy other stuff to make more stuff. And it's sort of this giant cycle of the rotation of goods and services and money and people getting those and selling those, and sort of how that works. Now, we need to think about, well, how in the 13 colonies, how back then did the economies work? Because they weren't making iPhones and driving cars and all of those things. So what was it like? What was the economy like back then? What were the products? What were the things they were producing? What were consumers buying? How did they make money? How did they make a living? So let's take a look at our reading for this week. We have the economy of the New England colonies. And this article describes the economy as the system of buying, selling, and earning money in a place. Agriculture is the raising of crops and livestock, and those are going to be kind of tied together in the economy. So let me read out loud this article, and then you guys can do the activity that goes along with it. So it says, the New England colonies were made up of mostly fishing and farming communities. However, there were other industries that contributed to the economy of New England. The New England colonies depended heavily on the ocean to boost their economy. Fishing was a major industry in New England. Shipments of fish were exported for sale to England and to other colonial areas. Colonists also participated in shipbuilding along the coastlines. Skilled workers built ships from basic materials and repaired damaged ships. Colonists also depended on the ocean for the whaling industry. Capturing whales was profitable for colonists. They were able to manufacture oil from whale blubber. Further inland, colonists relied on cutting lumber and trapping animals for their furs. Colonists exported lumber and animal furs to England to make money. These natural resources helped keep the New England economy running. A darker side of the New England economy included the sale and trade of slaves. New England merchants traded for slaves from West Africa in exchange for rum, a type of alcohol. The merchants would then sell the slaves to the West Indies in exchange for molasses. This was part of what is known as a triangular trade. Slaves were also sold throughout the 13 colonies for money or trade. Agriculture was not a major part of the New England economy. The rocky soil and cooler climate made farming difficult in the New England colonies. Some crops, like corn and wheat, were able to grow in the rocky soil. Animals were raised and cared for in the New England colonies. These animals provided milk, eggs, and meat for the colonists. However, colonists had to depend on trading and imports to get the foods and supplies they needed. So you'll have a sorting activity. The directions are right here. Say after you read the economy of the New England colonies information sheet, you can cut out and sort the cards into their correct categories. So here at the bottom, there's all of these statements, and you need to decide if the statement goes in natural resources, agriculture, and exports. If you don't want to cut them out, that's fine. You can just rewrite them in the correct column, and that will be perfect. All right, fifth graders, I hope you have a great time with this activity, and I will see you tomorrow.